What's up, y'all? This is Sam Thory. I'm just doing part two of setting up a marketing site using Cursor and Next.js and Supabase and Tailwind, ShadCN, tRPC, probably going to use Sanity as well for CMS. If you didn't catch the first part, we essentially just started the project. We went over some things in Cursor. We talked about Cursor rules, which you can see over here. Essentially, define your product or define your rules. Your prompt is like a pre-prompt for everything that you put in. And we can always adjust this as well. So the one I picked, I looked at it later. It's fine, but we don't use Solidity or WAGMI V2. I don't know what that is, or VM V2. I don't. We could try them, but for now we're not going to use them. So there's probably a better Cursor rules. Today, what we're going to go over is, first of all, we have some kind of managerial administrative stuff to do for our new product, Streamline IQ. Essentially, we need to set up some context for our project so that Cursor understands what it's going to be helping us build. And if you remember, we had started a chat where we kind of defined what it was, but we went back to it, and now we're starting at a fresh slate. We know that the name is Streamline IQ. Beyond that, it's just a blank box. So we'll do that, and then I would like to set up the pages that we'll need, and maybe start on some of the UI as well. And we'll probably push this up to GitHub by the end of the day. So first things first, what we're going to do is, like I said, we need to kind of define our project so that Cursor understands it a little bit better. So right now we're going to go back to our Composer chat. And we have chat or Composer. Composer allows us to create files, edit files, delete files without us having to do it ourselves. It will automatically do it. So in chat, you have to apply the changes. So it's a little bit different. With this, we are going to have it create some files for us and put them in a folder that we're going to call Cursor Context. So I'm going to put this at the root. And again, Cursor Context. So this is what we're going to refer Cursor to better understand the project in general. So we have our folder, and what we're going to do now is just give it some basic information and have it, first of all, give us a file called Business Overview. So that will be our definition of what the project is, what our company is doing. And then from there, we'll take it. So first things first, we are starting a new SaaS project. It is a mock SaaS product where all we know so far is that it's called Streamline IQ. I would like you to create a file called business overview.md, and we'll do this in Markdown because it'll be able to read it and it'll be readable for us as well. In the folder at Cursor Context, it's not finding it. Sometimes that happens. In the folder Cursor Context. If it can't find it, we'll just move it. And sometimes it gets stuck, especially when you just create a new folder like that. We may need a resync. Okay, so it's building this out. I don't see where it's trying to put it. Hey, it found cursor context. That's very good. And we didn't really give it much information. Like, we didn't tell it to give us a business overview. Probably should have, but let's see what it got. Designed to revolutionize business process optimization and workflow management. Our mission is to help organizations of all sizes streamline their operations and boost productivity and drive innovation. Machine learning, analyze, optimize, automate, right? User-friendly interface, and powerful back-end capabilities. Okay, we have a target market. We have some key features. So it's basically like a package of tools that you could use to optimize your productivity at a company, sounds like. Sounds pretty cool, actually. So we'll go ahead and accept. We can hit accept here, which will accept all the changes, or we can hit accept all if there's multiple files being created. For now, we'll hit accept all, the same result. I'll tell them this is perfect. Just a little positive affirmation there. Given this information, please create a color palette .md file in the same folder, defining the colors we will use across the site. Yeah, that's fine for now. So let's see what it comes up with, and this should be relevant for a company like this. Search the web for competitors in this space. So hopefully it'll do some kind of job of going out to the web, looking at some competitors of the same type of product, whatever that might be, something like Jira maybe, and coming up with something similar so that we're at least in the right box. Like, I don't understand this area fully that we're getting into. I don't even fully understand the product yet, so how can I know what the proper color palette would be? Hopefully Cursor can go out there and find some good information. But let's see what it comes up with. Color palette is designed to convey professionalism, innovation, and efficiency while ensuring accessibility and visual appeal across all our platform. That's good. All right, deep blue, vibrant teal, soft gray, charcoal, accent colors, energetic orange, lively green, warm purple, light gray, medium gray, dark gray, charcoal, dark gray, white. Okay, that's fantastic. And it's even doing something here where it's ensuring that we are accessible, which is great. Use the primary colors as the main brand colors. Okay. I'd say this is fantastic. It's actually more than I was looking for. So we'll hit accept here. And now what we're going to do is actually get into some of the files themselves here. So we know now what our colors should be, and we know how our colors connect with Tailwind. So we have the Tailwind config, and then in app, we have our globals.css. So our globals.css is where we set the values in HSL. So this is then worked out an HSL value for each of these colors. And then that's pulled in here where you see the HSL taking in the variable of that name. So what we're going to want to do is we'll go ahead and open up a new composer here because we have that context saved to those files now. We're going to say, please take at color palette and apply these colors to, we should only have to do it at globals.css unless it comes up with some new colors, which we really don't want it to. Use the predefined color names so we have the correct variable names across the project. We don't want to really mess with that too much if we don't have to, because other packages may be trying to get to those same colors. Like they'll access those same colors, and if we don't have them, it won't make sense or it won't show up. Correct variables across. So we have correct variables across the project. Please add comments next to each color so that we know what the color is by name. We're not going to know just by the HSL value, and then we're guessing when we're trying to implement. So we'll go back to globals.css and see what it's doing over here. It's generating right now, so you don't see anything happening yet, but as soon as it starts to pull it in, and I might be running on a slow request here, I don't know. Okay, we see it's done quite a bit of work. It's taken out all of the old ones, but it still kept the names, which is what we're looking for. We now have the comments next to them with the actual color name, which is great. So we actually know what we're working with. And it's done the same thing for our dark mode colors as well. So that's good. So everything's looking good. And did it apply the same colors? Charcoal, soft gray. No, it didn't. So it inverted the colors for dark, which is exactly what we're looking for. So if you apply the background color in dark mode, it's charcoal. In light mode, it's soft gray, and vice versa for foreground, which is cool. So just with one class name, we can change all of the colors. And that's how you do like a dark light mode toggle if you wanted to do that. So this is great. We've only changed that one file. This is good. We don't want to do too much at one time. We'll hit accept. So now we should have all of our colors that we want in here. And I'm going to open up a new, I'm getting an update alert here. All right. So I'm in my project, and we haven't even run this yet. We know that we have this basic page.tsx, which is just going to show us like the get started. Let's just make sure everything's still working. Remember that we're using pnpm instead of npm, so that when we run commands like this, we'll run pnpm run dev. It's exactly the same. We'll hit this. And we should be up and running at localhost 3000. So if I hit this guy, opened up in my other, nope, it's over here. All right, everything is still fully functional. So we'll keep this off to the side. We don't need it right now. Excuse me. I think the next thing that we can do is, since we have this general idea of our business overview, I would like Cursor to define what pages we should have. Obviously a home page. I'm guessing there's going to be an about page, a pricing page, a contact us page, maybe a blog or resources section. So it's going to come up with some things, but let's see what it suggests without giving it too tight of parameters. So I want to keep it kind of loose to allow it to be a little bit creative in this scenario. Okay, so given, and we'll open up a new one. We always want to kind of clear the context here so that we have like a fresh idea of what we're working with. It's already pulling in business overview. So given business, and I'll just reference it anyway, just in case. Please create files for content for each page you think it is it makes sense to have for this project. Put these files in at cursor context. Okay. So hopefully it's going to come up with several files here, one for each page and just the content. We're not talking about a layout or template or building code yet. This is just content. It's going to be an MD file, hopefully. And actually, we should just say that. Please make these markdown files. And we'll see what we get. Okay, so we have home, features, how it works, pricing, about us, contact. So I had some right, but they added a few others here. Features, how it works. I like it. We'll see what kind of content we have. But we know now when we go to build these files out, these pages out, we already have all the content that we need. We'll probably start off by pulling it in statically, and then at some point move that over to using Sanity, or maybe we want to try another CMS. Recently I've been using Sanity mostly, so let's take a look. So let's start with the home page. We have revolutionize your business processes. Nice little intro. 5-point section that we could do some kind of listing with an icon or something like that. Who we serve could also be like a 3-box thing with a couple of CTAs. So that's kind of like a middle CTA section. Why choose us? So obviously, excuse me, for a business like this, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered through your messaging. So when a user comes to your site for a SaaS product, they're looking to figure out who you are, what you do, how you do it, and why they should choose you over somebody else. So what your differentiator is. So we see here, we have the why choose Streamline IQ. So we're answering that question. In the about us, that's the who we are. In the how it works, that'll be how we do it. In the features, that'll be what we do. So sometimes this is break down to like services being what we do and solutions being how we do it. And I guess another one of the questions could be, how much does it cost? So that'll be another one. But we just keep looking through here. It looks like this is the end. So this will be kind of like the footer section above the actual footer. So like a pre-footer and another list. So we have some nice listing areas that we can do some interesting things with. I like this one. I'll go ahead and accept it. We can do I'd like to look at the about us. Again, we have a little mission statement, our story, our team, our values, join our journey. We can do like a career section. So this answers a lot of questions about who we are. So this works really well, and I'll accept it. And let's see, features. So this is like what we do. Discover how Streamline can transform your business operations with a powerful suite of features. Visualize and optimize your workflows. intelligent automation, real-time analytics dashboard, predictive optimization, collaboration tools, custom integrations, mobile accessibility. So we do a lot of things here, a lot of things. If we go to how it works, this you could think of kind of like the scientific method, like you have a hypothesis statement, you're gathering information, testing it, proving whether it worked or not, and at the end you will monitor or collaborate and scale in this case. So, it's not exactly a scientific method, but you can think about it in some kind of method like that actually will translate into how an LLM would think about something like that. So just a little outside the box thinking sometimes helps, especially with content. So this all looks good, except pricing. All right, $99 up to 5 users, 10 automated workflows, basic analytics dashboard. $299 a month. Enterprise, obviously custom. And you get secure cloud storage, regular feature updates, 99% uptime guarantee. So the one thing I don't see is this isn't necessarily like a product-led growth method here, where you don't have like a free trial or something like that, or a free developer tier. It just goes straight to $99 a month. So whatever, it's fine. This isn't real, but maybe something that, it's a different model, whatever. So we move on. Let's see, features we did, we can accept that. Contact. Okay. General inquiries, sales, schedule a demo, support, office location, connect with us, partnership and opportunities, so many things. Okay. So a lot of these are leading to just sending an email. Some are leading to another page like careers, which I'm not sure we'll actually build out, but we could. What we're probably going to do on this page is have an actual contact us form, where that will be hooked up with tRPC and Supabase and React Query on the front side. And we will save those users to the Supabase Postgres database. Super simple, well, not super simple setup, but we'll go through it for sure. And that'll be down the road. Just to say, this page may end up being a little bit different just because we'll add that form, but otherwise it's a lot of content on there, so that's great. I'll hit accept. So I think that's everything. We can look through this list here. And sometimes you can't see the last one, but that's fine. We got that one. So everything's looking good. We don't even have to accept all because we've accepted them individually. So we can move on. So now what we want to do is, sometimes my first inclination is just to say, all right, build all of those pages all at once. That's a terrible idea. It will get stuck. Everything will look awful. What we want to do is just start with the home page and build it component by component. So we're going to say that we're going to use that content for this home page, and we want it to give us some kind of reusable hero to use with this content. We also want it to tell it that we want to use ShadCN components, and we want to use possibly Magic UI components, and definitely Magic UI. So that'll give us some animation. So just to go over those two real quick, I know we talked about ShadCN last time. We have ShadCN docs right here. There's also Aceternity, which we may look at as well. The intro, we don't need this. We've already done that part. What we want to look at right now is these individual components. It's actually a brand new one, sidebar, which I was looking at the other day. It's kind of cool. Um, so we know though that some of these are definitely going to be used. Like we're probably going to have a spot where we use tabs. Um, let's see, the Sonne is the toast. So this shows up in the bottom right corner here. We use that for submitting forms and showing error messages or submission messages a lot. So we'll probably use that. The skeleton, absolutely. This is how we'll basically show any kind of loading state for lists or anything. If we have content coming in from like Sanity or something like that. Pop over. Probably won't use this one because we'll probably use the one from Magic UI. But essentially, there's no reason that we need to bring these in. And if we just take this one, for example, uh, the process of bringing it into your project would be thus. You go to installation, we're going to pick PNPM, and that'll copy this to add the drop down menu. So we'll paste that in to our CLI and it'll do a bunch of things to add it in. And then we can use it and we can customize it. We can change the colors. We can add class names to it from the root where you're not actually changing the actual drop down menu. So there's a lot of things that we can do. The good thing is though, we have the ShadCN docs indexed by cursor. So we don't have to bring these in until we absolutely need them. So we'll let cursor do the hard work of going through here and finding what we may need and telling us to install it, and we'll do that. But we'll only do it when we need it. The other package that we're going to look at is magicui.design. This is by Framer, and there are some wonderful components here that we'll use quite a bit. The marquee I've used on several projects. It's great. A lot of customizability there. Everything is very customizable because this is built on top of ShadCN. So all of those primitive components that you have in ShadCN are used here. The bento grid is definitely one that we're going to use. So you see it's not this animation, but it's like the layout here where we have the boxes fully customizable. Like you can make it 3 tight boxes across and then one long box on the bottom. So with lists, we'll definitely use this to, just show content in a different way and break it up. Here's another variation you can see, which is pretty cool. So a lot of things you can do there. Another one that I really like, let's see. So I use this quite a bit, the shine border. You see it kind of like changing colors, adds a very light animation effect without being too overwhelming. This is really cool. You can have some nice background effects, some that are a little bit more subtle. This is essentially, I think this is how like Gemini shows their UI, so they're doing the same thing. So lots of cool things there. You can animate text. You see the little shiny effect. So they're just really good ways to make your project look a lot more professional really quickly. But again, all of this is already indexed by cursor. So it has the context of our entire Magic UI documentation and ShadCN documentation. So I can tell it to build me a hero using really great, Magic UI components and ShadCN components and have it make the decision for me. If I don't like it, we roll it back, try something else. So it's really important to have all of those documentations indexed in cursor and make sure that they're all good. So we just go back like we said we would. And I just want to make sure if we go into cursor settings, I think it's under features maybe. Here we go. So this shows everything that we have indexed. Magic UI, Farm UI, Next.js, Supabase, Storybook, and Storybook with Next, Aceternity, Drizzle or ORM, which we'll probably use as well with Supabase, tRPC, Brevo, which is a product that I use for sending emails and like doing email campaigns, ShadCN, and Sanity is actually failing, and I need to look at this before we get into that, but I won't deal with it right now. I tried to do it last night and it didn't have any effects, so maybe their documentation is just not getting indexed correctly for some reason, I don't know. Anyways, but you can see all the stuff that we have indexed. If we wanted to add more, you can add a new doc. We can resync our code base, which we're going to do periodically just to make sure that everything's looking good. Sometimes we'll start to get some really strange responses from cursor in the LLM. It can be one of two things or several, I'm sure. One thing is that it's lost the full indexing of our project. The other is that you just need to start a new chat because it's overwhelmed with the context it has in that chat. So we'll just hit this resync index. It's real quick when it does it, so we're done there. And we can go back and like we said, we're going to start off by switching out this page.tsx with a new content, but component by component. So let's start with the hero. And I don't need this one. And again, we're just going to start a new composer here. In at page.tsx, I want to add a hero from the content in at home.md. Okay, so it can reference that. That's why we build it. Please use my colors from at globals and use appropriate components from at shad and at magic, or even at Aceternity, which is very similar to Magic UI. I'm giving you wide parameters here for you to be able to make some creative decisions on your own. So we'll see how it handles that. Sometimes it does not handle it well. Sometimes it comes up with something really cool. So we'll start with this though. Oh, and make the hero component a standalone reusable component. All right, so you can see it's going through all of this, 52 plus all of these documentations. And now we're hitting up the home.md, we're hitting up globals.css. It decided to just leave off Magic UI for some reason and just do Shad and Aceternity. I guess that's fine. Sometimes. Okay, it's removing all this. That's great. I don't want that there anymore. And we see we have this new hero with a title, subtitle, description, primary, secondary. Man, we're putting a lot of information in that hero. Let's see how it looks. Background beams, hero. Okay, we're gonna need to definitely, we can kill this actually. I'll just hit reject actually. Oh no. Oh no. That's okay. I can get it from here. All right, so we have this heroes file that I'm going to create a new folder called components. Actually, I'm not going to put this in the app though. I'll keep it there. That's fine. And a new file called hero.tsx. Okay, so first of all, we know that we need framer motion. We know that we need, this is from ShadCN, and I believe this is from maybe Aceternity. I'm not sure. Let's see. Okay, and we also need radix UI React slot. That's probably for, I'll copy that, and we're just going to apply that here. Oops, I didn't need to put it there. That's the wrong place. Oh, and I need to do pn add. Uh-oh. Not sure what that error is, so we're gonna debug this with AI. No, that's not right. That is not good information. I think I was in the wrong, an old folder named the same thing. Okay, let's try it here. Here we go. Okay, we're all set. Now we can go back over to Composer. And let me just make sure I'm not missing anything else I need to add before that. Looks good. Background beams. What is this? Is this supposed to be coming from Magic UI? Background beams. Let me see here real quick. Border beam. I'm not sure. Let me see here. Background beam. Hey, there it is. Okay, so instead of creating that file, I don't know why, we're going to do the CLI way, but for PM, and then we're going to have to add some CSS, or I'm sorry, some stuff to the TailwindCSS. That's fine. So we'll go in here and run this guy here. And done. Okay, that's great. Now we need to go into the Tailwind. And it looks like really all we need to add, oh, here we go. We're gonna add this guy here to the plugins. I need this here actually too, so let's get these guys. This is a little weird, I don't know if I love it. We may need to roll this back, but that's okay. All right, so we brought that in. We're gonna bring this in to the plugins. The rest of that we already have, and we don't want to change this. Okay. And then we're gonna add this to the bottom. We'll see how this works. And we shouldn't have that error anymore because we have this function. Okay. So we should, we're also pulling in TailwindCSS colors, TailwindCSS lib, util flatten colors. So we may need to install these. Let's see. Oh, yeah, there. I'm guessing we're going to have an error here. Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. And that's fine. All right, so let's clear that up. I need to go in here. This is actually app. I'm actually gonna move this out. I don't like it there. Oh. Oh. Perfect. Okay. Move. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it out of the UI because that's where everything goes for ShadCN and apparently Aceternity. So then this goes back. We're good. The hero needs the button from ShadCN. So we'll go in here and gonna look at button. And we'll get this guy. And that's all we need, I believe. Yeah. We'll go back to our other okay, great. And now we have a button component. And the hero should be happy now. And if we go back to the page, we'll see how it looks. Let's pull it up. Could be ugly. Okay. It's not awful, but it's very, okay. We can, we can work with this. We do have some cool stuff going on, at least. It's using our colors. This list is absolutely terrible, so we'll probably end up suggesting something else for that. And it's got a lot of spacing. So maybe they're kind of looking more for like a full height hero. I'm fine with that, but you gotta do something different here. And also, this is just too wide. I don't love the amount of padding or the lack of padding around it. So we would probably change that too. But for now, I think, we've gotten it to a point where we're functional. We have a hero. It's probably a good stopping point. And we're going to go ahead and commit this up. One thing you can do here is use cursor in your command. So I can say, you know what, I need to create a branch, a project in GitHub first. Okay, so I'm in mine. I'm going to create a new repository called Streamline IQ. I don't need a description right now. Git ignore for sure. I have it already. License none. That's fine. Oh, she's the owner. That's me. All right. Set up GitHub co-op. I'm good with that. Have you done this kind of thing before? Push an existing repository from the command line. This is what we want right here. So we'll do this guy. Just copy the whole thing. I'm not going to use the command instructions in that case. Let's see how we did. Let's see. I'm not sure it picked that up. It did. We're looking good. Okay. One last thing we can do is connect this to Vercel real easily. We have everything we need. All we have to do, where's my components folder? I feel like I'm missing a lot of stuff, so I'm going to do another commit. Yeah, I think that was just the base. And now I can do Command K. I'm going to say new branch, set up hero home, add all, commit with message, and push. And that's going to give me, yeah, there we go. And so it's not the best message that it sends in the commit, but you know, given that we're just working with ourselves right now, it's okay. I understand myself. So now I can go and take a look at pull requests. I see that I have this set up hero home as a new branch. So I can go ahead and compare and pull request. And I'm moving it into main. It looks like it's able to merge. I create the pull request. Yeah, so there's nothing set up with this yet with Vercel or anything, so we can just automatically merge it in. We don't have a preview environment, so there's no way to check. We can delete that branch just to clean up. That's usually a good practice. So we're all good in GitHub. So now we can take a look at, I gotta take a look at what this error message is at some point, but that's a different day. Project, I want to go to the overall account. How do I get back there? With the project. There we go. Okay, now we're on our overview page. Sorry, sometimes their routing is a little funny. So you can see some of my other websites that I have up here. Not sure why this one up twice. That's strange. Oh, maybe these are just pull requests. I don't know. What we're gonna do is add new project and very easily pull it from Git repository. We see it pull up because I'm already connected. That's something that you'd have to set up though. I hit Streamline IQ. There's nothing I need to change here. It's going to be able to auto detect that this is a Next.js app and just roll with it. For most projects, you could do Gatsby or Svelte or something Angular or something like that. It should be able to figure it out too. Go ahead and deploy. There's not much to this app, so it should just take like 40 seconds to deploy. As you get bigger and bigger, it takes longer. But I run a site right now that has 5,000 pages, and the longest build we have is 2 minutes. So it's very fast. All right, and we can even take a look at the build logs. It's going through all these steps. You can see we're using Next 14. And by the way, Next 15 came out yesterday. And I thought about adding it, but I didn't want to make it too confusing. There's a lot of stuff I just don't understand about it yet. I want to try it out. I've also read that the code mod isn't working perfectly yet, so there's some issues. But anyways, okay, so we are deployed. We could add a domain if we wanted to. Instant previews. We have enable speed insights. That's something you have to pay for, so we're not going to do that. I do pay for the pro account, which allows me to have a ton of projects, and it's like $20 a month. It's a really good deal, I think. So here we can see we can have active branches. We can see this project, and if we click into it, that's going to pull it up. And there's some really cool stuff that you can do with the Vercel toolbar, which I don't have set up yet for this. I just lost this. Oh, here we go. All right. Skip. Let me see if I can do a refresh and get the tool. Well, maybe the toolbar's here now. Oh yeah, they changed it. Okay. So I can comment right on here. Say text is too wide. Need to fix. At Sam Thorey. But I'm not going to add myself because that's going to send me an email. I don't want it. So that's just going to show up. And if you did an @ then they would come in, they would see that in their email and be able to come back and resolve it, maybe through a pull request. And then you can hit check and it removes it. You can do a feature flag. I haven't done that, so there looks like there's some setup still there. A lot of cool things you can do. Accessibility audit, interaction timing, layout shifts. It's great. It's really good stuff. All right, so we're going to close this up. We basically walked through the initial setup for Vercel, connection to GitHub, just walking backwards. We set up the hero for Streamline IQ using Aceternity, these background beams, and ShadCN for the individual, actually just for the button for now. We defined our business, we defined our colors, we defined all of the content for all of our pages. So we did quite a bit. That would have taken, several people on a team, not just a developer. You need, a content team to be able to do the content. That goes through an approval process, would take weeks to build out one page. We built out 5, and obviously they're not perfect, but you can move fast, and it gives us something to work with other than lorem ipsum, which is great because you can actually see how it truly fits into a website instead of just guessing. So it's looking good. Obviously, the UI is not looking great yet, but we're going to fix that in the next one. So come back next time and we'll keep working on the hero and the rest of the homepage. Hopefully finish that in the next one. Thank you so much.